This is a very big box. It contains the new ACMER P2 laser engraver. This is their new 33 watt diode laser engraver. And it's such a big box because, well, it's a big laser, but it's also nearly fully assembled as well. Very nicely packaged. Everything individually boxed within the box. Even some sample bits and sort of a cutting test sheet as well. And there it is. This is the laser unit itself. As I say, 33 watts. It's got a little focusing arm there to help you get the focus height correct. And you can see the air assist on the side. Hefty unit, very solid feel to it. And this attaches very neatly to this rigid metal mount. Nice simple connection. And very nice electrical connector on the top there. It's like a mini version of what you get on higher end RC cars and planes and things. Air assist tube all fully installed, ready. You just have to connect that up to the air assist nozzle. Simple push fit. And that goes into the included air assist pump. This came with the laser. And on the underside of the frame you've got a flame detection switch, so you can switch flame detection on or off, which is very useful sometimes. And that's the connection for the air assist pump. Very nicely made, some good features on this. And there's the power supply. This frame on this laser is all custom made parts, very rigid. It's got some nice safety features, key start and stop, emergency stop button, flame detection, tilt detection. There's the memory card slot on the front, and you can see it's all linear rails on this, so should be very hard wearing, give you good lifespan on this laser, makes it smooth running too. Always wear your safety glasses. They included this lovely red pair with the laser. Been doing a few test cuts. These are little key rings I'm making for Brothers in Arms, which is a gun shop very near me in Christchurch in Dorset. They've been very helpful. I've recently got back into target shooting, so I said I'd make them some more merch. Here's the laser running. It's very fast. Very efficient. Just speed it up a little bit. But here's a sort of a batch of these key rings I'm making. Bit smoky at this point. Eventually this will go in an enclosure with proper smoke extraction. There is actually smoke extraction going on here, it's just out of sight. I've also got the sliding doors open next to it and windows open at the front of the house to carry the smoke out. But I would recommend enclosures for these. But Andy and Carl should be very pleased with these. If you're into shooting sports, you go and see them. Brilliant shop, ever so helpful. They've been spray varnished, hence why they were all hanging on a garden cane. Next job is to do one of my test dice. All the lasers I use this pattern just to test them out. It's the fastest ever test dice cut because of the extra power of the laser. Slotted together perfectly. Really nice. Just checking it for square, and it is perfectly square. It's a very good test of a laser doing a box. If there's a problem, it won't slot together properly. This is another project I've been working on. This is a Japanese style lamp. Here's some of the components. did a great job of cutting these out. These all slot together. Anyway, there'll be more of this later in the video. I'll show you how I finished the lamp. This was a sample piece of brushed stainless steel that they sent me with the laser. So I'm doing a little test burn on this of my logo. I haven't coated the steel with anything. This is just direct onto the stainless steel. You can see how good that is. That's come out really, really well. I now feel confident to engrave this stainless steel hip flask. Bored of doing my logo, so I'll make a bit more merch for Brothers in Arms. So I'm using lightburn. Got their logo. Just framing it here, make sure it's correct. I've focused it onto the hip flask. And we're away. This did a really good job of this hip flask. The only thing is that the steel is slightly thin on this. So there was a minute bit of buckling just to the surface, down to the heat. But it wasn't enough to spoil it. It came out really, really well. As you can see. Very pleased with that. There's a cork coaster that they included. You can see here I'm testing the framing again, make sure I'm all lined up. I'm doing quite a deep burn on this. Just putting my logo on there. So that's quite a three-dimensional engraving. Needs just rubbing down a fraction just to get rid of those smoke marks. There's some basswood samples they included. I think it's basswood anyway. This is 30mm thick. 10mm per second, 100% power. And what I'm doing here, this is multiple cuts, just increasing in number of passes. Just to see how many passes it will take to go through this. You could do this in one pass, but it would get very hot and charred. You can see it's almost gone through there. Almost. Nice clean cut. Apart from the bottom bit, of course, where it didn't go through. And this is 30mm thick black acrylic. These diode lasers will not cut clear acrylic, but they will cut opaque black acrylic. This also would cut in one pass, but you could get quite a lot of melting. So I did a few test cuts with multiple passes. You can see I'm just using that focusing arm there just to set the focus height. Here's some test cuts. So I then did another multi-pass cut here, doing this circle that's just right on the edge of the block so you can see how far through it's going. And there it is. Very clean cut in actual fact. So I was very happy with that. This was a glass coaster they sent me to try. Now you can't engrave glass, but they also sent this sheet of stuff, which took me a while to work out what it is, but it's water slide decal paper, I think, or similar. So you soak it and then slide it onto the glass, dry it, let it dry, so the glass has now got this coating on, and that allows you to engrave onto the surface of the glass. You need to coat glass with something for it to engrave. I used their suggested settings for doing the glass, so there it is. All you have to do then is clean that film off. I just scraped it off with a scalpel blade, and there it is. Really, that has come out very, very well. Here we are doing the back to my Japanese style lantern, masking the edges. I don't want to get glue on. And then we're using a little bit of wood glue. Any wood glue will do really. This is sort of PVA based. And I'm dabbing the glue on rather than painting it on, using a foam brush. This is ordinary printer paper, A4 printer paper, which I'm pressing down onto there, and I'm cutting it out using a scalpel. It bubbles a little bit, but as the paper dries it goes taut again. Peeling off all the masking and the excess paper, and this all slots together. So the lamp is now taking shape. You can see the paper's gone nice and tight now where it's dried. A few coats of spray varnish. Probably needs a few more, but there it is. It's very effective. Use battery operated tea lights in these. There's a little close-up of the dice and my coasters. Well, I've finished putting the ACMER P2 33 watt laser through its paces, and I have to say, very, very impressed with it. It's a great package, very well put together. The air assist is a massive help, and I really think you need air assist with a powerful laser like that. You won't take full advantage of its cutting capabilities. Build quality, excellent. Linear rails everywhere, making it very long lasting, very smooth running. Very impressed all round. Nice frame, and it's just performed very, very well. Certainly very capable. As you'd imagine, it's half as quick again as a 20 watt laser. It's fairly linear, the relationship between the power output and what it can do. Yeah, certainly speeds things up. With power, what I like about the higher power lasers is that you can do the jobs quicker. You shouldn't leave these lasers unattended, so the more powerful it is, the quicker you can do the job, and the more time you've got to get on with other things. So more power is certainly very beneficial. Certainly very capable of deep cutting and some deep engraving as well. When I was doing the depth cut tests, I was doing multiple passes at about 10 millimeters per second. It would certainly cut these things in one pass if you slowed it up enough. It's very, very powerful like that. But the problem with doing these slow one cut passes, even though the laser's capable of it, you can get quite a bit of charring or risk of fire as well if it's travelling too slowly. You get a much cleaner cut if you do it in multiple passes. That's my thoughts anyway. But overall, very, very impressed with it. And I was very pleased with my Japanese style lamp. That came out very, very well. I will try and put the design for this on Etsy so you can have a go at cutting it out yourself. For LED tea lights only, of course, otherwise you'll have a fire on your hands. But yeah, very pleased. The laser cut this out very, very quickly, which is fantastic. It's what you want. And it's cut it out very accurately. Everything's perfectly square. Many thanks to ACMER or ACMER for sending it to me. Brilliant bit of kit, and I'll leave some links in the description, so be sure to check those out. If you like the look of this laser, you really need to check out this competition that ACMER are running. It's Engrave Your Love with ACMER, and it's a design competition with designing something with love in mind for your partner or loved one. It's open to all, and you don't have to use an ACMER laser, but it must involve cutting or engraving and using materials such as wood, acrylic, glass, paper, ceramic, leather or metal. It's a great competition with some fantastic prizes. First prize is $3,000 plus the ACMER P2 33 watt laser featured in this video. There are several other cash prizes and other lasers up for grabs, and the winners have the opportunity to get a business partnership with ACMER. The competition runs from the 1st of September 2023, and details can be found on the ACMER website and on the ACMER Facebook group. I will leave links in the video description. Be sure to check them out. Bye for now.
More rubbish coming soon.